This is the new X-SPR Pro from Shoei. Look, I'm really sorry, but I can't go through the whole video calling it that. The X-SPR Pro. I actually honestly don't really know why it's called that either. See, in other markets, this helmet will be called the X15, and the model before it is called the X14. In the UK, that's called the X-Spirit 3. So why didn't they just add one and call this the X-Spirit 4? I don't know, they went with X-SPR Pro, and to be honest, if you look at it, X-SPR is just a contraction of X-Spirit. So I'm just going to call it the X-Spirit Pro because I get really tongue-tied when I try to spell it out. And look, to be honest with you, when I first saw this, I didn't like it. I saw it in the pictures. I didn't rate it at all. I thought, what have they done? That is not a better looking helmet. But to be honest, now that I've seen it here in the fiberglass, the plastic, the paint, it looks fantastic. And actually, I think it looks way better than the outgoing X-Spirit 3. So this delicious gloss white colour here is going to set you back about 700 quid, and you can get it in gloss black as well. If you'd like to mattify that black, that's going to cost you an extra 20 quid. Expect graphics to come early next year. We haven't had any official released ones. However, if you did see the launch of this helmet, you would have seen the Marquez brothers riding around with their wrapped up helmets, and they look absolutely fantastic with a livery on. So really excited to see what sort of graphics we're going to get early next year. Now, to be honest, it's a lot of money for a helmet, and everything is getting more expensive, so it's kind of to be expected that the newest, latest model becomes more expensive. And after all, Shoei are a top premium brand. Now, this helmet is ECE 2206 certified and FIM homologated, perfect for flying down the racetrack. Shoei have also designed this helmet with aerodynamics in mind. So they actually say it's suited to riding at 217 miles per hour. Like literally crazy. They've just gone, yeah, it's meant to be for aerodynamics. You can do 217 miles per hour. To give you an idea, the current MotoGP race record for top speed was set by Jorge Martin at 225 miles per hour. So it's not too far off the MotoGP top speeds. It is absolute craziness that they've gone, right, we're designing a helmet for absolute aerodynamic bliss. Now, for going really, really fast, aerodynamics play a massive part. The more aerodynamic something is, the less power you need to push it through the air. Horsepower is only going to get you so far. You need a really good set of aerodynamics to come into play as well. Now, the rider and the things the riders wear come into play in that aerodynamic package. It's everything that pushes through the air, not just the motorcycle, but the rider as well. So having a helmet that's designed with that in mind is really important when you're trying to eke out every last mile per hour. The shell is made using Shoei's renowned AIM Plus composite of fibres. Now, it's a blend of various types of fibres to create an ultra high performance and lightweight shell. Here it has been tweaked over the previous model. We still have that classic X-Spirit shape, quite elongated, nice spoiler at the back, and we've got those classic silver fins there. Now, they have ditched the 3 across the top and gone with these cool 2 silver ones here, so the design has slightly changed. And also you can see these ridges along the top. It's kind of like a seagull in flight. And basically they're there for aerodynamic purposes. They help to break up air flowing over the helmet and reducing turbulence at the back of the helmet. Turbulence causes drag, which is again going to slow you down. So having these points, although they seem a little bit strange or they might just be there for design, they actually serve an aerodynamic purpose. And of course, underneath that, we've got a multi-density EPS liner to do all the impact absorption. Again, standard affair from Shoei. Now, it's not just really good at cutting through the air, it's also designed to scoop up and flow air over your head inside the helmet as well. So ventilation has played a really important part. Now, at the front on the chin, we've actually got 2 sections to our chin vent. Up top, we've got 3 different sections as well. At the back, we've got an exhaust here, and then we've also got a couple of exhausts under the spoiler as well. So basically it's designed to get as much airflow through as possible. All the ones on the back of the helmet, so all the exhausts are always open because they're always drawing air through. Again, aerodynamically, it has been designed to create an area of negative pressure, which is going to suck air through it, hence why they're always open. Back around to the chin then to explain this double sectioned vent. So the top one, nice and big, really wide, flows air actually up into the visor. So that's going to help to demist it, especially on days with mist and if you're a heavy breather. So you do get a Pinlock 120 or Pinlock Evo, they call it, in the box, which is the best Pinlock that you can get. But that's just a little bit extra if you don't run the Pinlock, and also it's not blasting it straight in your face. The bottom one Actually also doesn't blast it straight into your mouth, which is quite nice. It actually directs the air around to the cheek pads, which is actually a really cool feature because you have a lot more surface area, and also it's not going to dry your face out like your mouth and your nose by blasting it directly into your face. So it's directed round to your cheeks, which is really nice from Shoei. Also, another reason for that chin vent diverting the air to the cheeks is there's actually a clip in there to hold a drinking straw. So if you've got a bladder pack out on the racetrack, keep yourself nice and hydrated, you've got a little place to keep the straw nice and secure. So then on the top vent, you've got a vent on either side, and then this actually controls, I think it's 3 individual holes, so there's lots and lots of air coming through the front of this helmet, and it's a nice big wide scoop along the front there to suck that air in. The visor on the X-SPR Pro then is actually something similar to what we've seen before on the new NXR2, and it features a central locking system as opposed to around the side. The operation is very similar, but this is actually called the CWR F2R, and the main difference is it also includes these tear-off posts for fitting tear-offs. Again, very racetrack focused, so it's got those race features. So to operate, again, press the middle button, up it comes. You notice this big black lump of plastic here. This is actually a lock for the visor. Again, racetrack ready. It needs to lock in place quite securely, so that holds it down. But it also has another feature as well. So you unlock it, press the button and lift it up. You can slide that over, and then it won't let the visor go down anymore. So you've got that nice crack there just to allow a bit more airflow through, which is quite nice on a hotter day. I actually really like the design of the new Shoei visors because it's a really slick, depress the button and slide up in one motion. It's nice and easy. You've also got the indentations on the mechanism, so it will latch in different places, which is quite nice. So it will hold in different places and all the way to the top. With the visor in the upright position, you can now remove it. So you have a tab at the bottom here. You pull this forward, you apply a bit of forward pressure to the visor and then lift it up and out. And it is quite simple. There is a little bit of a knack to it, but it's forward pressure and then out. Then to refit, you just make sure the visor is in, again, that upright position. And can I see where it goes? Sometimes it helps to pull the tab. There we go, and it clips back in place. It will take a few goes to get used to that action, but it's quite simple, although you're probably not going to be doing it all the time in real life. You see these red pins here? These are actually here to lock the visor in place. So when you push them down, the visor cannot be removed from the mechanism at all. Again, another racetrack locking feature. That red lever is now facing downwards, which means I can't pull the tab forward and I cannot remove the visor. So if you are struggling with getting the visor off, just check to make sure that tab is in the upright position. But that's just another locking feature again for that racetrack usage. And finally on the visor, we have our Vortex Generators, just like we saw on the NXR2. Again, another little piece of aerodynamic flair. In the interior then, and we have a nice double D-ring fastening, as you'd expect. We've got our EQRS, emergency quick release system, for if you have an accident and emergency services need to take the cheek pads out to make helmet removal easier, they can do that. And again, those nice bright red bits there to show it off. Let's just remove some of this interior here. All comes out nice and easily. Perfect. There we go. So if you look inside, I probably have to get another shot of that. One thing I really like on the Shoei interiors are the deep channels that they make in the EPS liners. It's nice and deep. It allows that airflow that comes in through the vents to really flow over your head before exiting out the back. It's a nice, cool feature and actually helps that air get through over your head. Also on the inside, we've got the classic little covers there for the speaker pockets. Again, Shoei do make this helmet intercom compatible. You can use a clamp mount or an adhesive mount onto the side of the helmet, so you get a couple of different options. You can also see the holes for the ventilation that Shoei have made for the cheek pads. And if you look carefully on the cheek pads as well, you can see those little holes in the foam, which again is going to help that air get to your cheeks. Now the crown piece, Shoei have done some really cool stuff with. It's actually modular and comes in 4 different pieces, which you can remove just using the simple bit of Velcro, and you can change the foam for harder and softer foam pads to really tailor that fit for yourself. So there's one on each side and then one at the front and back as well. So that's really going to help you get the helmet fitting just as you want it. Out of the box, the helmet fits absolutely lovely, so not many people will need this, but if you're one of those people that really likes to tinker with the fits and play with things, they've definitely given you that option here as well. And also, if you look at the cheek pads as well, you can actually change the angle at which the cheek pads sit in the helmet, which is going to change the angle at which the helmet sits on your head. So again, if you've got that full tuck position, you might want a little bit more rotation so that you can see down the racetrack easier. And that just about sums up the Shoei X-SPR Pro then. Absolutely fantastic helmet, an aerodynamic marvel, perfect if you want to go as fast as you possibly can on a racetrack and have every little aerodynamic advantage that you possibly can get, and also just fantastic to flex down at the local bike cafe when you say, look, I've got the fastest helmet out there. Absolutely fantastic. Every time I look at it, I love all the little aerodynamic details, the sculpting in the shell. It's a really, really nicely and very well put together helmet. I think it's fantastic.